Ashley from Notjustboxing here with WBC World Champion Skye Nicholson. How you doing, Skye?
I'm good. I'm really good, thank you.
Good. Thank you for having us down today. It's great seeing you train.
Yeah, I didn't even know you guys were coming, but it was a pleasant surprise. Nice to have visitors in the gym, see what we're up to.
I love the music choice as well. It's such a good vibe in there.
Yeah, it's always good vibes in there. I feel like we've got a really good team in there, always good energy. I love coming to training. It's probably my favourite time of the day, which probably surprises people, but no, it's good energy in there always.
Do you travel far to come here?
No, I live literally down the road. Yeah, well, I mean, I travelled from across the world, the other side of the world, but no, I've got a place literally 5 minutes from here, so no excuses. I'm always late anyway, but I can't really blame the traffic when I live so close.
Well, it took us 3.5 hours to get here.
Yeah, it takes some of the boys that long.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can imagine Henry as well
Yeah.
from Bognor. So you're coming off a big win in Philly. How was that debut?
Obviously, it was my first time in Philly. It was amazing, loved the experience. My trainer, Ed, is like a diehard Rocky fan, so just seeing him there in Philly, getting so excited amongst it all was a nice moment. I had a really good week. Obviously, happy with my performance. Had a good win against a tough girl who was coming to win. So, no, I was excited. I feel like every fight we get a little bit better. Each camp I come back and I have like a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more experience, and just keep trying to level up.
Did you run up the steps?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I didn't like run up them hard because the day I went was fight day. So I took it easy. But no, it was a cool experience.
Please tell me you tried a Philly cheesesteak as well.
I did.
What did you think of it?
It was all right. It was all right. In Philly cheesesteak's defense, they got me one from the arena, like where I fought, and like we didn't go to one of the places that you're like should probably go to get one. So I don't feel like I got the best of the Philly cheesesteak. I actually had Philly cheesesteak dumplings at this Asian restaurant the next night, and they were unbelievable.
Philly cheesesteak dumplings. America's
Yeah,
great.
I know.
They got everything. I remember I had fried hash browns with macaroni cheese in the middle.
Yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, really good. Did you
Anything deep fried and macaroni cheese sounds good to me.
Did you stay after the fight for a bit, or did you come straight back?
Yeah, I stayed in Philly for one more night after my fight, and then I went to New York, caught up with Ariel on the MMA show, and then took my parents to Miami for a week and met up with my best friend in Miami. So had some really cool downtime, chill time out there. Absolutely loved it. It was my first time in Miami. It was a lot like home, so it was actually really nice. It was very similar to the Gold Coast, so no, loved that. And then went and met my family out, some other family, my sister and nephews and that out in Portugal. Had a couple of days in Portugal, and then obviously went to Paris to watch one of my other best friends compete in the Olympics. So it's been a whirlwind few weeks, but I'm back. I was back in the gym last week, back in camp now. I trained throughout. Since my fight, just ticking over a little bit, enjoying the downtime obviously, but yeah, I was kind of always like still tunnel visioned on what was next. So yeah, ready to go again now.
So there's breaking news coming out today. Obviously this will come out after.
Yeah.
Can you tell everyone what's just been announced?
October 12th, Riyadh season in Riyadh. Me versus Raven Chapman for the WBC world title. I'm so excited for this. I feel like this is a huge moment in history. Obviously, it's the first women's world title fight taking place in Saudi Arabia. It's a fight that the fans will love, a fight that the fans have been asking for, and the kind of fights I've been wanting and pushing for and begging for. So to be in a real fight against a top quality opponent, I'm so excited. I think we have such a great clash of styles. And I think a lot of the fans will see this as a 50-50 fight. So I'm really, really excited.
And obviously you don't have to give away too much of your game plan, but how did you beat Raven Chapman?
For me, I think she's a good, come forward, aggressive boxer. I think she's quite smart. She sets up her attacks, moves well. For me, I think my footwork, my angles, my timing, distance control are all things that are going to play a part in how I win. I think you're going to see the best of Raven Chapman in this fight, but I think you're also going to see the best of me, and I'm excited for that.
It takes two to tango, so
It does.
obviously, yeah, the better the opponent, the better we're going to see. So you've recently started working with Jordan William Vine.
Yes.
I know he's an elite S&C coach. How has that been for you? Has that been a big add to your arsenal?
Yeah, it's been great. I feel like I'm doing a lot more strength-based training. I did a lot of more like functional, like movement S&C before, whereas now we're really looking at building pure strength, which I think is something that's probably lacked. When coming back over to my boxing, I want to sit down on my shots. I want to land hard shots. So I think, it's been a step in the right direction.
Have you already felt improvements?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it showed in my last fight as well. I'm definitely focusing on sitting down on my shots more. Obviously, I had someone that was very aggressive coming at me for 10 rounds. So obviously, like footwork still played a big part in that fight. But in certain fights, you're definitely going to see the difference.
So when did you actually get into boxing? How old were you?
I was 12 years old when I started boxing. And about 8 weeks later, I had my first fight in the February of 2008. So 16 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what club was that with?
Albert Boxing Club. It's still going. It's my family's amateur boxing club in my parents' back garden.
Wow.
In their house in Yatla. They've got like about 10, 15 boxers in there at the moment. Always boxed out of there, have amazing memories of...
So when you go home, do you still visit all the boxers and give them little talks and stuff?
Yeah, of course,
big part of your life.
Yeah, I follow quite a few of them on socials and that as well, and keep an eye on what they're up to and how their journey's going. But yeah, we've got a couple of national champions in the gym. They're doing really well, girls and boys, so that's always good to see as well. But yeah, no, it's always been in the family. I grew up around it. Obviously, my oldest brother's a boxing coach. He taught me how to box. He was my first boxing coach. And obviously, my brothers that passed away in a car accident before I was born, they both boxed. Jamie, obviously, an Olympian, Commonwealth Games medalist, world medalist. So it wasn't expected that I would box, but at the same time, you couldn't really be too surprised when I did.
And then obviously you had the Commonwealth Games in your back garden as well, and you won gold. How was that feeling?
I think to this day it's still probably one of my favourite memories and biggest like highlights of my life. To have all my family and friends there in the crowd, to be there to witness it was very, very special. I didn't qualify for the Commonwealth Games 4 years earlier, losing to the girl that went on to win the gold medal in the Glasgow Games. So 4 years later to obviously be on the team and then to go and win it was a very special moment, and to be able to do it at a home games, it was definitely a highlight.
And what made you want to come to England to box?
So I kind of always said that when I turned professional that I would probably base myself in the US or the UK. And obviously signing with Matchroom and DAZN, signing with STN Sports, my management company, it just made sense to base myself in the UK. And I met Ed and Al and the team, and I just thought, you know what, this is going to work for me. We just meshed well straight away. I loved the vibes in the gym straight away. And I just feel like it was already written. And I just fell into everything that was meant to happen. And it's been a whirlwind couple of years, but absolutely loving the journey.
You say that, but you create your own opportunities, and your hard work, the relentless days that you're putting in here, obviously that's the reason you're in this position. Yeah,
of course. I mean, there's obviously been a lot of setbacks. There's been a lot of highs and lows that come with the sport. But I think boxing, if it teaches you anything, it's resilience. It's getting back up and going again. It wasn't all smooth sailing. Like I said, I didn't make my first Commonwealth Games team. I didn't make my first Olympics team, but I just kept trying, kept going, kept showing up. And you quickly learn in boxing that you can have talent, but if you don't work hard, you're not going to make it. You're not going to go all the way. And lucky for me, I have talent and work hard. So it's the recipe to success, and it's working for me. So there's a lot of girls that look up to you now. Have you got any advice to anyone that's watching this interview? Yeah, basically everything I just said. It's not always smooth sailing. There's going to be times where you feel like the world's against you, that life's not fair, that boxing's not fair. you can love boxing so much, but it's not always going to love you back. If you keep showing up, keep putting in 100%, keep being the best that you can possibly be, I think anything's possible. And I think my journey, if you go back and look through, even through BoxRec in my amateur career, it shows that.
But also the amateurs, it's a big learning lesson, right? It doesn't matter if you lose. A lot of people they care so much about their record in the amateurs. But
yeah, I have girls sometimes reach out to me and say, like, what's a good record for an amateur boxer? I said, don't worry. Like, I say to all the girls that I talk to on Instagram and stuff, like, this is your apprenticeship. Go and learn. Every single fight, you're going to learn more and more and more. I had 150 amateur fights. And they, like, everything I learned over that 14, 15 years as an amateur was priceless. Going into the pros, I was able to start at 6 rounders, progress quickly, fight for a world title in my 10th fight. I was hoping to be fighting for undisputed in my 10th fight if things went to plan, but obviously that was out of my control. But yeah, I mean, in the amateurs, I say to every girl I meet on this journey, like, go and fight as often as possible. Fight, give away experience, give away age, like, obviously safely, but it's not, there's not always a whole lot of competition out there. And if you have to fight the same girl, I fought one girl 10 times, another girl 8 times, another girl 6 times. Like, just fight and fight and fight. Sometimes they'll win, sometimes you'll win, but you're getting better every single time, and it's gonna be those building blocks that are gonna prepare you for potentially your professional career, potentially your Olympic Games, whatever is your goal, your pinnacle of the sport. But yeah, just keep learning.
So you're in a stat division, and obviously there's only a few pounds between so many. You've got so many big names. Mm-hmm. Would you be disappointed if there was anyone that you didn't fight before you retire?
I mean, obviously, I think I'd be disappointed if I didn't get the Serrano fight. I want to go down as the best featherweight of all time, and I feel like that's a fight that needs to happen to really stamp my legacy. I think the longer it goes on that we don't fight, I guess the less impact beating her would have on my resume, if that makes sense. I feel like I don't think she's going to fight me, to be honest. But if the fight was to happen, I feel like the longer we wait for that, the more the criticism will be that she was done, she was old, she was past her best, I didn't fight her in her prime, and blah, 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 blah. So I've got the receipts. I've been calling her out for years. All right, I've been calling her out since I was a little baby novice, just started fighting pro. Yeah, so for me, that would probably be the fight that I'd be most disappointed, even though I've kind of accepted that the fight might not ever happen. But there is still obviously hope that I can stamp my legacy and have that fight. But we'll see what happens. The ball's in her court on that one.
So what you just said there really reminded me of when Spence fought Terence Crawford. Yeah. And again, all of the Twitter fans, all of the people that said, no, he's going to be too slow, you know, he's getting old, the car crash, the eye socket, all of these things, all of the excuses did come out as soon as that ended. But as they went into that fight, it was a true 50-50 that no one knew. And it would be the same with you and Serrano. I
mean, I don't even think it would go in as a 50-50. I think most people think that I have no chance against her, which I find hilarious. But again, I love that. I love being the underdog. I love people doubting me. I love people thinking there's no way she can mix it with them, because watch what I do.
So lastly, what is your prediction when you fight Raven Chapman?
Prediction? I mean, for me, I think it's going to be a more competitive fight than you've seen in my last couple of fights. I respect Raven. I think she's a very good fighter. But like I said, like I've always said, the better the opponent, the better Skye Nicholson you're going to get. And she's better than the best Raven Chapman.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.